Hello, welcome to our first video in our Cycles in Nature unit. In this lecture, we will be learning about photosynthesis and respiration. You will need to take notes using a note page, so please be sure you have the note page titled Photosynthesis and Respiration 18.1-2 glued into your notebook. Let's begin. Photosynthesis and Respiration, Mrs. Burball, Life Science. Photosynthesis comes from the morphemes photo, which means light, synthesis, which means making, so photosynthesis is making from light. Our definition here is a process where plants use light energy, carbon dioxide, and water to make its own food and oxygen. Here's a little diagram explaining that. We have the sunlight, carbon dioxide and water going into the plant. The plant makes its food, which is called glucose, and the oxygen is released. Where does photosynthesis happen? Well, if we take our plant here, we can zoom in on the plant cell. Inside the plant cell, there are those structures called chloroplasts. So if we zoom in onto the chloroplasts, we can see what one of these structures looks like, and this is where photosynthesis occurs. The formula for photosynthesis is energy plus water plus carbon dioxide equals food plus oxygen. So to kind of get an idea of how this works, we have energy, of course we get from the sun, and the water enters the plants through the roots. And then carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Using those three things, the plant makes food, which is called glucose, that the plant uses. It's a sugar. That's what the food is. And then, of course, the plant also releases oxygen. Chlorophyll plays an important role in photosynthesis, and that is because during photosynthesis, the light energy from the sun is absorbed, and that is through the pigment chlorophyll that is inside the chloroplast of each plant. So chlorophyll absorbs sunlight. Let's move on to respiration. Respiration is a process where cells use oxygen to break down food to produce energy for the organism, water, and carbon dioxide. Where does respiration occur? Well, here we have an organism. It could be a plant or an animal. In this case, we're using a cow. If we were to zoom in on one of the cow's cells, it might look something like this. And then we would need to zoom in on the structure called the mitochondria. And cellular respiration occurs here in the mitochondria. The formula for respiration is oxygen plus food equals energy and carbon dioxide. So if we were to draw this out, we have the organism breathing in oxygen from the atmosphere, thanks to those plants. And the organism is also eating food. So with the oxygen and the food, the organism is able to produce energy and then also releases carbon dioxide. And that goes back into the atmosphere. Photosynthesis and respiration can be thought of as two processes that somewhat work together. Here we have our cow, which, if you remember, during cellular respiration, the cow releases carbon dioxide, which during photosynthesis is then used by the plant. Now, during photosynthesis, the plant releases oxygen, which is inhaled by the organism. So we have an interesting little relationship here where cellular respiration produces carbon dioxide, which is used by the plant during photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, the oxygen is released by the plant and used by the cow during cellular respiration. Of course, we can't forget about the other parts of photosynthesis and respiration. That energy comes from the sun and is used by the plant. We also have water absorbed by the roots during photosynthesis. And all of that is to make food for the plant, called glucose. That cow might then eat the food and use the oxygen in order to produce carbon dioxide and energy for the cow. To recap, you should have learned about the process of photosynthesis and the process of respiration and how the two might be related. Here's Cookie. And Louie's back there.